All right, let's dive in today exploring Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. Imagine rewriting your life story, breaking free from limitations, and achieving the success you've always wanted. And that's what we are going to unpack today.
Yeah, and it's key to remember that this book isn't just about money, right?
Mm.
It's a guide to a more fulfilling life overall. Graziosi really emphasizes this idea of defining success on your own terms. I think that's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it really does make you think about what success really means. Is it just financial, or is it something bigger? But before we get too deep into that, let's address the elephant in the room. This idea that all millionaires are just lucky.
Right, and Graziosi tackles that misconception right away. He really emphasizes that success comes from a specific mindset and habits.
Yeah.
$1 million mindset, as he calls it. It's not about some innate talent or being born with a silver spoon.
And he actually uses his own life as
Yeah,
as an example, right?
exactly.
He struggled with dyslexia, but yet he became a multiple New York Times bestselling author. That's that's a pretty strong argument against the luck theory.
It really is. His story shows that anyone can achieve success with the right mindset and habits. He really pushes this idea of having an unwavering belief in your vision, a willingness to take risks, calculated risks, and the resilience to bounce back from setbacks.
So it's about shaping your own destiny, not just waiting for good things to happen, but how do you even begin down that path?
Well, Graziosi highlights the importance of understanding your why. He introduces this exercise, this 7 levels deep exercise, where you repeatedly ask yourself why, to really uncover your core motivations.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, getting to the heart of what really drives you. But I can imagine some people might find this exercise kind of difficult. Is there a specific way to approach it?
Yeah, the key is to be honest with yourself and really dig deep. Graziosi actually shares this story about a participant in one of his programs who discovered his why was to honor his late mother's memory. He realized that his drive for success came from a deep emotional connection.
Wow, that's incredibly powerful. It shows how understanding your why can be like a turning point. It gives you that fuel to keep going, to stay committed even when things get tough.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
and when you combine that strong why with the right
Riskier.
with the right mindset, you're already well on your way to success. But
Yeah.
but there's another challenge Graziosi addresses that I think a lot of people can relate to, the inner critic.
Oh, that voice of doubt and negativity, we all have to deal with it. It can be so crippling sometimes. How does Graziosi suggest we overcome that?
Well, he uses this Navajo fable about two wolves to illustrate this concept. One wolf, one wolf represents negativity and fear, and the other embodies positivity and hope. The wolf that wins, it's the one you feed.
That's such a powerful metaphor. But realistically, how do we feed the right wolf? Is it really as simple as just thinking positive thoughts?
It's more about being aware of the thoughts you're feeding, right?
Right.
And making a conscious choice to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
Graziosi points out that dwelling on our weaknesses actually feeds the negative wolf.
So instead of focusing on what we're bad at, we should focus on cultivating our talents and passions.
Exactly. It's about recognizing and embracing what
Yeah.
what you excel at, because that's where you'll find true fulfillment and success.
So we've talked about mindset and motivation, but
Okay.
but is there anything else? Anything else we should be careful about as we start this journey?
Yeah, Graziosi cautions against seeking advice from people who haven't achieved what you aspire to. Their advice, while well intentioned, might be rooted in their own fears and limitations.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about surrounding yourself with the right kind of support system, people who inspire you and believe in your dreams.
Right, and those people will be the ones to help you unleash your inner hero. Another concept Graziosi dives into. He believes that everyone has this confident and capable version of themselves, just waiting to emerge.
But how do we bring that inner hero to life? Is there a secret formula?
Well, Graziosi suggests a few practical habits,
Yeah.
and the first one might surprise you. It's all about all about projecting confidence. He emphasizes the power of physical presence. Even something as simple as smiling can impact your mood and self-belief.
That's interesting. So even if you don't feel confident, acting confident can actually start to shift your internal state. But isn't that a bit like faking it?
It might feel that way at first, but
Sure.
there's scientific evidence to back this up. Studies show that smiling can elevate your mood, and adopting a confident posture can actually boost your feelings of self-assurance.
So it's about taking those small actions to start building that confidence muscle. But are there other ways to strengthen that inner hero?
Yeah, Graziosi also stresses the importance of positive self-talk. So instead of saying I'm stressed, try reframing it as I'm learning and growing. It's about consciously choosing words that empower you.
That's a great tip. Sometimes we don't even realize how much our own words can hold us back. But it sounds like we need to be mindful of not only what we say to ourselves, but also who we surround ourselves with.
Absolutely. Graziosi emphasizes the importance of choosing your circle wisely. The people we spend time with have a profound influence on our habits, on our mindset, and ultimately our success.
Right. It's like that saying, you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people is crucial for success.
And it's also crucial to be able to look inward and reevaluate the stories we tell ourselves,
Yeah.
which is what Graziosi dives into next. He calls it rewriting your story. He argues that the narratives we create about ourselves and our capabilities, they shape our reality.
That's a powerful concept. So if we're constantly telling ourselves a story of limitations and setbacks, we're more likely to stay stuck in those patterns. But how do we break free from those negative stories?
Well, it starts with identifying those limiting beliefs.
Mm.
Graziosi encourages us to examine the narratives we tell ourselves
Yeah.
and challenge any beliefs that hold us back. He even shares his own experience of turning what he perceived as a weakness, his ADD, into a strength.
So we actually have the power to reframe our experiences and choose a more empowering story for ourselves. It's not about ignoring the challenges, but rather changing how we view them.
Right, and that leads us to another important habit Graziosi discusses: smart work over hard work. He challenges the notion that we need to work around the clock to be
I
successful.
think we can all breathe a sigh of relief about that. But how do we work smarter, not harder? Is there a magic formula?
Well, Graziosi introduces this concept of finding your financial sweet spot, the activity that brings you the most income and enjoyment. It's about identifying where your efforts have the greatest impact and focusing your energy there.
So it's about finding that perfect intersection of passion and profit. But how do we actually identify that sweet spot in a practical way?
It requires some self-reflection and experimentation.
Yeah.
Think about what activities energize you, what you're naturally good at, and where you see potential for growth and income. And don't be afraid to try new things and step outside your comfort zone.
That makes sense. It's about being proactive and exploring different possibilities. But how do we balance exploring those new possibilities with managing our existing commitments?
Well, that's where Graziosi's concept of a not-to-do list
Yeah.
comes in. It's about consciously eliminating or delegating tasks that drain your time and energy, but don't contribute to your goals.
So it's not just about what you do, it's also about what you choose not to do. That's brilliant. But with all this talk about finding your sweet spot and working smart, it seems like confidence plays a big role.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle that Graziosi highlights, the importance of cultivating confidence. He argues that confidence is a foundational element for success, and it's something we can actively develop.
So how do we go about building unshakable confidence? Is there a secret formula?
Well, Graziosi breaks it down into what he calls the four C's: courage, commitment, capability, and confidence. He explains that courage is the willingness to take that first step. Commitment is about seeing things through. Capability is about developing the necessary skills. And confidence is the natural outcome of mastering the first three.
It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Each C builds upon the previous one, ultimately leading to greater confidence. I love how he lays it out so clearly. But what about those times when our confidence takes a hit, when we experience setbacks or failures? How do we bounce back from that?
Graziosi suggests a simple but powerful exercise. Create a list of your personal victories and skills. It's a way to remind yourself of what you've already achieved and what you're capable of.
That's a great idea. Sometimes we get so caught up in our perceived shortcomings that we forget to celebrate our wins. It's important to acknowledge our accomplishments and reinforce that self-belief.
Right, and it's those small wins that ultimately build momentum and propel us towards greater
This
success.
has been incredibly insightful. We've covered a lot of ground in part one, from mindset and motivation to taming the inner critic and unleashing that inner hero. But I'm sure there's even more wisdom packed into Millionaire Success Habits. We'll be back in part two of this deep dive to explore the rest of Graziosi's insights.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Millionaire Success Habits. I'm ready to uncover more of those game-changing habits that can help us all level up in life.
And remember, Graziosi emphasizes that these habits aren't just about reaching specific goals. They're about shifting your whole approach to life. That sounds intriguing. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. He makes this brilliant comparison using a thermostat and a thermometer. He says most people live their lives like thermometers,
Yeah.
simply reacting to the circumstances around them.
So they're at the mercy of outside forces, like a leaf blowing in the wind.
Precisely. But Graciosi encourages you to become the thermostat,
Yeah.
the one who sets the temperature, who actively shapes their reality.
I really like that analogy. It's about taking control and designing your own life.
And that's exactly what these habits help you do. Whether it's cultivating a $1 million mindset or understanding your why or taming that inner critic. Each habit gives you more agency and control.
It's a shift from passive to active, which is incredibly empowering. But do you think these changes are only internal, or do they affect other areas of life too?
As you implement these habits, you'll notice a ripple effect across all areas of your life. Your relationships, your career, your overall well-being, they all start to transform.
So it's not just about getting richer. It's about becoming a more confident, a more fulfilled, a more impactful individual.
Exactly. And that brings us to Graziosi's final challenge,
Hmm.
which might be the most important one.
Okay, lay it on me. What's this final challenge?
He asks the reader a powerful question. What one small habit from this book will you commit to implementing this week?
He's issuing a call to action. It's not just about theory. He wants you to use this knowledge and make a change.
And what I find particularly helpful is that he encourages starting small. You don't need to change your whole life overnight.
Hmm.
Choose one habit that resonates with you and commit to incorporating it into your routine.
So it's about taking that first step, no matter how small.
Yeah.
And gaining momentum from there.
Exactly. As you experience the positive impact of that one habit, it motivates you to embrace even more of Graziosi's wisdom.
It creates a snowball effect of positive change. That's an inspiring thought. But what happens when you hit a roadblock? We've talked about the importance of mindset, but setbacks are inevitable, right?
Absolutely, and that's where the power of rewriting your story comes in. Remember, the stories we tell ourselves, they shape our reality. If we view setbacks as failures, we're more likely to give up. But if we reframe those setbacks as learning opportunities, they become stepping stones on our path to success.
So it's not about ignoring the challenges, but rather changing how we perceive them. But how do we actually do that? How do we shift from a negative mindset to a more empowering one?
Graziosi provides some practical tools for reframing those negative narratives. One technique he suggests is to challenge those limiting beliefs with evidence. For example, if you believe you're not good at public speaking, remind yourself of times when you've successfully presented or spoken up in a group.
That's a great tip. It's about focusing on the evidence that contradicts those negative beliefs, and I imagine that ties in with the idea of celebrating those small victories, right? By acknowledging our accomplishments, we reinforce our self-belief and build momentum.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Surround yourself with a supportive community. Seek out mentors and celebrate your wins together.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders and coaches in your corner, helping you stay motivated and on track.
And as you progress, you'll find that success isn't just about material wealth.
Right.
It's about living a life that's aligned with your values, your passions, and your purpose.
It's about feeling fulfilled, making a difference, and leaving a positive impact on the world. But that all sounds pretty idealistic. Is it really possible to achieve that level of alignment and purpose in our lives?
Graziosi argues that it is, and he believes that by cultivating these millionaire success habits, you can unlock a level of potential you never even knew you had. It's not about becoming a millionaire in the literal sense, but rather about becoming the richest version of yourself.
Yeah.
In every aspect of your being.
It's not a quick fix. It's a journey of continuous growth and transformation. But with the right tools and mindset, that journey can be incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. And remember, the journey starts with that one small step. What habit will you commit to this week? That's something to ponder as we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Dean Graziosi's Millionaire Success Habits. We've explored a lot of ground from mindset shifts to practical habits, and now it's time to bring it all together.
Exactly. We've examined Graziosi's insights, but the real power is in applying this knowledge to your own life.
It's where the real magic happens. As you integrate these habits, you'll start to notice a shift in how you face challenges, how
Right.
you see yourself, and ultimately how you experience success.
And it's an ongoing process, right? There's always room for growth, for refinement, and for pushing yourself further.
So it's not about crossing a finish line. It's about embracing continuous improvement.
Precisely. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. Build a supportive community. Find mentors and celebrate your achievements along the way.
Yeah, it's like having a team of cheerleaders and coaches to keep you motivated and on track. But what about those times when you stumble? We've discussed the importance of mindset, but setbacks are inevitable, right?
Absolutely. And that's where Graziosi's concept of rewriting your story becomes so powerful. Remember that the narratives we tell ourselves can shape our reality. If we view setbacks as failures, we're more likely to give up.
Yeah.
But if we reframe them as learning experiences, they become stepping stones to success.
So it's not about ignoring challenges, but changing how we see them. Can you give an example of how someone might actually rewrite their story?
Sure. Imagine someone who's been told they're not creative.
Yeah.
And has internalized that belief. Instead of accepting that as truth, they can start to challenge it by actively seeking out creative outlets, taking a class or simply trying something new. Each small step helps rewrite that old narrative.
Yeah.
And builds a new story of possibility.
That's such a powerful image, replacing those limiting beliefs with a story of potential and growth. And it seems like that aligns perfectly with the idea of finding your financial sweet spot, that place where passion and profit intersect. But sometimes even when we're passionate about something, self-doubt can creep in. How do we overcome that?
Well, Graziosi emphasizes the importance of cultivating confidence. He reminds us that confidence isn't something we're born with. It's a skill we can develop, and it starts with recognizing our strengths and celebrating our accomplishments.
So it's a combination of mindset and action. We have to believe in ourselves and take those steps towards our goals, even if they're small ones. But with so much information out there, it can feel overwhelming. Where do you even begin?
Graciosi's advice is simple. Start with one small habit. Don't try to change everything overnight. Choose one thing that resonates with you from this book, and commit to implementing it this week. Whether it's practicing positive self-talk, or creating a not to-do list, or simply taking a few minutes each day to visualize your goals. That one small step can create a ripple effect of positive change in your life.
Oh, that's a great takeaway. It's not about achieving perfection. It's about progress. And as you experience those small wins, your confidence grows, and you're inspired to keep moving forward.
And remember, as you progress on this journey, you'll discover that success isn't just about material wealth, but about living a life aligned with your values, your passions, and your purpose.
It's about feeling fulfilled, making a difference, and leaving a positive mark on the world.
And that's what Graziosi ultimately hopes for his readers,
Mhm.
to empower them to create a life of abundance in every aspect of their being.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this final thought.
Yeah.
What if the most valuable investment you can make isn't in stocks or real estate, but in yourself?
What if by developing these millionaire success habits, you unlock a level of potential you never knew you had? That's the challenge. The challenge Graziosi presents, and it's one worth accepting.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through Millionaire Success Habits. We hope these insights will inspire you to step into your greatness.
Remember, you have the power within you to transform your life. Now go out there and create the life you dream of.